Welcome back to the Ref Show. There's plenty to talk about in the next 10 minutes or so. We still have one Premier League game to look back on. We're going to look at the FA and how they're making a modest start towards tackling cheats. This is an incident in non-league football and also modern technology, goal line technology. Goodness me, the Championship, why isn't it in there as well as the Premier League? But first, this West Brom-Southampton game. Stuart Atwell was in charge. Now, the big talking point in this goalless draw was that many thought that there should have been an early penalty. It was a lunge by Targett on McManaman. Replays, though, suggested it might have been a dive. And oddly enough, West Brom, who were denied a penalty there, their manager, Tony Pulis, came out and said he agreed with the referee in not giving a penalty and would have a word with the player. How refreshing.
Well, I mean, Koeman come out and thought it was an nailed-on penalty. I've got to say, I got a tweet from Richard Keys saying that Stuart Atwell missed a nailed-on penalty. I thought, oh, here we go. So I thought when I watched it on TV, I thought, well, he's missed a nailed-on penalty. But then when you see it again, slow-mo, you see, well, he's going, was it McManaman?
Yes.
He's already going down before the challenge comes in, and then the challenge comes in. But is he taking evasive action? You know, is he taking evasive action?
So you can't decide?
I don't think there'd have been any complaints from anybody if Stuart had given that as a penalty.
I don't think many people would have complained. No. But where Stuart got it wrong, and great that Pulis comes out and says what he says, to be fair, and sort of blames the player and agrees with the referee. Yeah. But the fact is, if it's not a penalty, and he gives a goal kick, surely it's a corner, because he's cleared the ball.
Well,
so technically, it's a, you know, you're mixing it up. If he's made the tackle, it's a corner.
If it's a dive, he doesn't get a yellow card.
But then, and he hasn't got a yellow card. I applaud him for that, because there could have been slight contact. And let's make no mistake, every little bit of contact, don't mean to say it's a penalty. But Erstie's right about, you know, when I refereed, if I was in doubt and attack challenge when he go bang, corner straight away. So everyone think, oh, the referee thinks he's got the ball. So then it comes off you. But
so you've covered yourself.
So you cover yourself. But I've got to say, I don't think there'd have been any. It looks more of a penalty than not.
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. I think if I'd have been Tony Pulis, I'd have been screaming for a penalty.
Well, he was at the time. And I've got to say, and when I watched Tony Pulis, he went absolutely ballistic. Full official Mike Dean, and Mike Dean's face said it all to me, saying, how's he not give that as a penalty?
Yeah, I agree with you, but yeah.
Where there's no doubt whatsoever is that Blackburn Rovers scored a good goal. Crucially, they were denied this goal in what turned out to be a 2-1 defeat at Fulham, and their manager, Gary Bowyer, is under pressure for his job. Now, it was over the line. This is Grant Hanley's effort. It was cleared from behind the line, and afterwards Gary Bowyer appealed for goal line technology in the Championship, as you would expect. Why on earth isn't it there already?
Well, I don't know. If you look at the Championship, there's more spectators watching Championship football than there is in Serie A. So for me, the money has to be there. They're spending all this money on players in the Championship. And what we're talking about? How much are we talking about?
A fraction of the cost.
How much are we talking about to install goal line technology?
Well, I don't know the exact figure, but you're talking more thousands than millions.
It could be. It could be the difference between a team going automatically into the Premiership, which is worth 100 million to the team going up. So I just cannot understand how the Football League have not got goal line technology.
It's something that I touched on at the very beginning of goal line technology. You know, when it would come, at first I was a little bit, no, let the game play as it's being played. Then you think, no, it's a bit more important than that, and it comes in. Now, how far down does it go? And I said this right at the beginning. You know, if you're going to have it in the Premiership and internationals, you're going to have it in the Championship, Division 1, Division 2, where does it stop? Now,
it's a case of affording it, though, isn't it? And the Championship clubs, if they can pay £9 million for a player.
If I was a chairman in the Championship, looking at a chance of getting promotion into the Premiership, 130 million, I think it is, to get up there, finish last or whatever, 90 million. I think £250,000 would be a good gamble for me at my club. So I don't think it's expensive.
But of course, it could go for you. It could go for you, but it could go against you, though.
But this is the way it works, isn't it? You know, at least you're going to be prepared. You're going to have to get it if you get promotion.
In this game, Fulham are thinking, thank goodness we haven't got goal line technology, aren't they? They've won the game.
Their first home win.
This is where self-interest seems to take over from the interests of the game, doesn't it?
But then we go back to Tony Pulis, what he's just said about the refereeing decision. You know, we get a little bit of honesty in the game. You know, and if you get that, if it's rules for both, so it works for you, works against you. That is the situation. You're hoping it's going to work for you. unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't always go that way, and it may penalise you. But if everybody's
And you
doing
have to
that-
have sympathy with the match officials. It was an assistant referee's call. Tony Harrington happened to be the referee.
Yeah, it's not down to Tony, it's down to the assistant. He's right on the goal, but it happens so quickly. And if you're not 100%, you cannot give the decision. You cannot give the goal. So it's time now that the Football League and the Premier League sat down and spoke about getting goal line technology in, at least Championship.
All right, I'll throw it at you. Referee, linesman, sees the incident. Do we stop the game and have?
Well, this is where the video. This is where the
then we
video
go to
referee.
fourth official, where he's got the little monitoring up the tunnel or whatever it is. Actually, it is, yes.
But if we go to the cracking game at Leicester yesterday, we had exactly the same thing. The ball had just gone over. We weren't know if it was in. We didn't sure. And all of a sudden, Mike Dean looks at his watch. Goal, tells him it's a goal. No complaints whatsoever. Yeah. No complaints. So it's got to come in for me for the Championship. Definitely. Has to come in.
Right. Something else that has to come in, and the FA, by demonstrating this, they're going to be a high-profile case before long of this, of cheat, well, in quotes, being charged after the event. Now, this has gone under the radar largely, under the media radar, but it's the first evidence, really, of the FA acting. A National League game between Welling United and Tranmere Rovers. Rovers' Richie Sutton was sent off. This was for striking Welling's Sar Kaba with an elbow. Now, Tranmere said that no contact was made whatsoever. Kaba, they said, went down intentionally in order to get an opponent, Sutton, sent off. Rovers then won the appeal on video evidence, and instead of their guy being banned, Kaba, who actually got the other fella sent off, was banned for 3 matches under that new arrangement. How refreshing is that?
Well, to be fair, I mean that's great, because we've been looking at this for years. You know, getting people sent off. Now, like you said, the fact that it's been overturned, there's only one guilty party. You know, if there's been no contact, then the guy who's feigning injury, you know, he's at fault. So he does need punishing, and rightly so.
Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely right. I mean, I wouldn't call it cheating. I'd call it deceiving the referee.
Same thing, surely.
Well, yeah, but it's, you know, for me, deceiving. You can't go out and call a player an actual cheat or do this. For me, he's deceived the referee.
At what stage do we do that when I appeal for the throw-in? That's trying to deceive you as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, go on.
We can go on.
But it's good. And we've been calling for this on this show, haven't we, for that to come in. It's great. The FA changed the rules for this to come in, and I'd like to see them extend it when we see players deliberately deceiving the referee in the Premier League when they go down and win penalties and other things. It comes in, they get one game ban or 2 game ban, just like they do in Scotland.
We can't call that player a cheat, period, but that was an act of cheating, I thought.
It seems so. I mean, it's a very big word, cheat. You know, it's a harsh word. Now, if there is a slight contact and he goes down, hey, not everybody's built the same, so, you know, but the fact that we're actually going to stamp it out of the game can only benefit.
And surely it is only a matter of time before we get a high-profile incident in the Premier League.
It is the referee. Like I said with the grappling, it's the referee who's got to stamp that out.
Let's hope the FA do show the same resolve, though, when it comes to a big incident in the Premier League.
It will come. You're absolutely right. It will come. It'll be interesting.
And we'll be talking about it.
We'll be talking about it.
That is a certainty. The one thing you can't redress in a situation like that, though, is that the team that's been reduced to 10 men have to play the rest of the game with 10 men unjustly. You can never bring that back, can you?
Yeah, they did. At least they didn't lose the game. So I think there's a you know, they got a point. I think they got, didn't they?
Yeah, but like you say, that's when we start to get major problems. If he gets sent off and then we lose the game, okay, reinstated. Oh no, a minute, do I get my 3 points? Probably not.
Well, looking overall, we've just got a minute to spare on the show. We are looking for young referees to come through. We're looking for your questions as well. YouAreTheRef.com. If there's anything you want to ask the panel, any queries you want to raise, any talking points you want to raise. But we are looking for Football League referees to come through, Mark. Any really catching your eye, apart from the ones you mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, once again, I've spoken about Robert Madley's brother, Andrew. I think he's a great prospect. We've got Paul Tierney as well. You know, all these guys. Stuart Martin.
These names recur. Stuart Seaman, but we're not getting. I can't think of anybody else.
No, there is a problem of talent down below, and I think
what's backing it up? Yeah.
Progression plan, and what you've got to look at is the quality of coaching these guys are getting, and I believe they're not getting the quality to move them up into that next level. And also, what I do think is, you know, we've been saying this for a long time on this show about bringing in full-time referees for the championship. And I understand that they've been listening to us, the powers to be, wherever they are, and they're going to be doing that for next season.
I was at a game, just quickly, I was at a game yesterday, under 14s, Sheffield Wednesday versus Derby County. And what Sheffield Wednesday are doing now, probably to bring the lads through for later life, all the scholars that work at Sheffield Wednesday, they'll pick 2 linesmen a game on the. Fortunate enough, yesterday I was at the game, and it was a young lad called Fraser Preston and a young lad called George Hurst running the line at an under-14 game.
Nothing to do with you, is he?
And I went and said to him, "Look, mate, you better be a good footballer because you're a terrible linesman."
Let's get it right,
But it's
assistant.
good that the boys are out there doing that.
Great story, Hursty at Halsey. Thank you ever so much. And I don't wish to be so formal. Keith Hackett's written a great blog on the subject of the lack of a succession plan, by the way. Look out for that on youaretheref.com as the week progresses. We'll see you next week. Thanks very much. See you then. Bye.